mate, and welcome back to Normskitv. It's been a couple of days you haven't seen my mug on the screen, but I'm back again, as troops would say, back again. Transfer deadline day. We've made a signing, which is good news, and that's no other than the fullback from Southampton, CEDRIC SOARES, and we've signed him on loan until the end of the season. The deal is worth around about 5 million in total. I think it's the 1 million is for the actual loan. Then when you couple in his wages and what other stuff that is included in there, then that amounts to around about 5 million. The possibility is that we're going to sign him obviously for the last 5 months, with the opportunity to possibly sign him on a free transfer, because he's only got 6 months left on his contract. He's decided to leave Southampton, and I've seen a few. I've watched him in the Premier League. He's an okay player. Not going to lie, I've seen him very strong defensively, good cross of the ball. Maybe not the sort of guy that gets up and down the field in terms of pushing an attacking role, but he's very good defensively, and I believe that he will give Bellerin competition, which I think is important in this time. And I mean, okay, we're known as Loan FC at the moment, and we've signed him obviously to the end of the season, it's the 2nd January signing, because we've signed Pablo Marie for a £4 million deal, with the option to buy him for 8 million, which will create to about 12 million in total. So if you put everything together, if we do end up getting these two players, we would have spent around about 17 million. All right, not a lot. But can these players come in and make Arsenal any better? As I say, Suarez, he's got 16, I believe he's got 16, 2016, he won the Euro with Portugal. He's got about 33 caps with Portugal. And he's a good player. And Arteta has been watching him. According to his press conference, Arteta has been watching this player for a good while, since he's been at Man City. He's been watching him, and now he's decided to take him to Arsenal. And in all honesty, in his press conference, Mikel Arteta did say that it was asked whether he was happy with his transfer business, and he basically said yes, because he's got the players in terms of what he wants in their position, that being Pablo Marie as a left-sided central defender, and then we have the right back situation, because Ainsley Maitland-Niles was covering that position. He doesn't really see Ainsley Maitland-Niles as a right back, so that will seem that then Ainsley will end up going back into the midfield area. Now, whether there's going to be space for him in that area is something to really think about. But then, saying all of that, we have got a lot of games to go in terms of the FA Cup. We've got Europa, and then with 14 games to go in the Premier League, we need every available player, and we've managed to sort out the defensive areas and bring in those bodies in there to make up the numbers. But we know about Suarez in terms of we've seen him playing in the Premier League, so we've got an idea. Whereas Pablo Marie is an unknown quantity, but I believe that he will come good, and with Arteta casting his eye over him, and him playing under Arteta, albeit under the 23s in Manchester City, even though he didn't get a first team berth at Man City, at least Arteta's seen this player, and it's good that he's managed to get two players in. I mean, a lot of us may feel a bit underwhelmed with regards to the amount of business that we've done during this January transfer. But with Arsenal and their financial situation, it seems as if all we can be doing this window is taking on loan players. I don't believe we're going to end up getting any more players within this transfer window. I think those are the two players with players coming back, the likes of Tierney coming back, Kolasinac coming back. You've got Danny Ceballos back now. He's back now playing. It seems now we're getting our numbers back. But what's really interesting for me is that I was reading a WhatsApp message from one of my friends on our Arsenal WhatsApp group, and he was saying, with all these defenders that we've got, because we're gonna have quite a few defenders. When you think of maybe in the region of about 6, central defenders, which what happens come the summer if we do decide to keep Pablo Mari. And you've got William Saliba coming back from his year loan from St Etienne. What does that mean for the likes of Mustafi? What does that mean for the likes of David Luiz, Socrates, Holding? You've got Chambers who's out injured for the rest of the season. So I can't see us maybe getting rid of the likes of Chambers, because obviously he's going to be injured, and so he will not be back for a long while. But the likes of Holding, will he end up going? Will he end up staying? Will he end up going on loan? You've got Mavropanos, he will be coming back from his loan deal from Nuremberg. Will he stay on or will he go? We just don't know. There's a lot of big questions, a lot of big decisions in the summer that we really need to be, or Arsenal, Arteta himself need to be really thinking about, because at the moment we have got an abundance of central defenders, in that area. Now the problem is that for us to go to that next level, we really need world-class defenders in there, and we have been linked with the likes of Upamecano, and you've got the likes of Mavenko. These are players that we couldn't get in this January window because they obviously went in decent money for these players. Now my thing is, come the summer, if we can go for the likes of Upamecano, that means we're going to have to sell players. As I said, with our financial situation, it's going to be really difficult to, especially if we're not making Champions League. And, our only hope, I would say, of getting back into the Champions League is to try and win the Europa League this year. If we do that, then great. We can then start attracting those top class players and have the money or the investment to then go and spend the money on that. We have to obviously sell some players in order to do that. It's a pity where we are now, because you've got the likes of clubs below us, and when I say below us, I mean in terms of we were a top 4 side for a very long time, and you've got the likes of West Ham, Sheffield United outspending us in this transfer window, and so things aren't brilliant in terms of our finance at Arsenal. You've got the likes of Tottenham, who have spent nearly 100 and something mil. They've bought a new stadium, but that's because they've ended up being in Champions League, so they've benefited from the money that's come from that, the rewards that come from that, and the fact that the revenues that are coming in for the stadium. So they're in a position to go out and buy, players and spend 50, 60 million on a player. And they've just spent 27 million on another player. So why is it that Arsenal can't do this? And it's just because the way we've managed our finance, and it doesn't help when you've got the stingy blokes like Stan Kroenke here, who just won't put his hand in his pocket. Please, Dan Gonti, please do something. Try and buy out these guys, because they're a complete joke. Now this is now starting into a rant instead of me welcoming Mr. Suarez from Southampton. But in order for us to really, there were times when I look and I'm thinking, we're now saying we're begging to be in the Champions League. We never would have said that 3-4 years ago, because it was just a given. But now, we're in a position where we can't compete. We cannot compete with these other teams because of our financial situation. And I'm just hoping and praying that the likes of Suarez and Pablo Mari, they can come in and shore up that back four, and hopefully, you know, try and push to try and at least win the Europa League, and maybe an outside chance of actually getting into the top four. With 14 games to go, Chelsea are 10 points ahead of us. I don't know whether we're going to be able to overhaul that, but we'll just wait and see. And lastly, let me just finish with this. You know, it doesn't look like Aubameyang is going to end up going to Barcelona at this late stage, but there was talks, and I was listening to another podcast, and they were saying that Aubameyang actually rang up Barcelona, or rang somebody from there, either it was a representative, I don't know, to just inquire what it would be like to be playing in Barcelona. Now, you know, Aubameyang came out at the beginning of the transfer window and tried to quash the noise and saying that I don't know where they're getting this noise from about I want to leave, and it's you know, a load of lies, and this speculation is completely wrong. But yet there's somebody that can confirm. I mean, I think it was Graham Hunter, the Spanish reporter out there who knows a lot about football. I think it was one of his friends or colleagues that took the call, basically he rang up to find out what would it be like to play at Barcelona. So, you know, I'm not calling Aubameyang a liar or nothing. You know, he's a fantastic player. You know, he's our top goal scorer. And, you know, for me, the important thing is two things. Arsenal need to try and secure and lock him down. We cannot afford for him to get into his last year of his contract and run that down, because then it's going to be very difficult for us to recruit any kind of money, and then he's a free agent and we're going to be stuffed. We're known for letting players run down their contract and then we're stuffed, and then they will hold the cards. So we've got to decide. He's 30, you know, he's going to be 30, 31 next season. We've got to decide, are we going to keep him or are we going to let him go? But the main thing for us is that we either got to secure him, give him the money he wants. I know it sounds crazy, he's 31, but there's a lot of players in the Premier League plus 30 in the Bundesliga that are scoring goals. So I don't think Aubameyang has lost that. And I know some people say, well, once he's 30, he's not going to be able to do it. But I think he's a good player, and I think he will continue to score goals for him. We just need the quality players around him. And so we've got to either make sure we win the Europa League, because that's probably our only outside chance of winning or getting into the the top four again, or getting into the Champions League. That is our only sort of route to do that. And so bringing in the numbers is important. So the likes of Pablo Mari and Suarez coming in there, it means then that if we have a situation where Bellerin gets injured, then we can bring in Suarez to come in and do what he needs to do. So yes, it's going to be a very, very interesting summer, and I'm just hoping that there is money. I'm sure Arsenal have put money aside, but they're 9 Kroenkes, you know, with all the adventures that they're doing outside of outside of the country, you know, doing their own, spending money on the stadiums and new stadiums that they're building. You know, Arsenal to them is a cash cow, and the more money they can get out of them, the chances are of them staying. But there needs to be someone that can come in and say, yeah, here's 4 billion or whatever it is to the cost of the club, take it, and so that we can now invest properly into this. We're a big club, we're a great club, and we need to get back where we need to be. And I believe that Arteta will be the man to get us back. But in order for him to do that, he's going to need the players to do that, and he's going to need the board to back him. So that's really the end of my kind of rant and sort of transfer daily, and just welcoming again Suarez to the club, and I hope that you do really well for us. Yeah, just looking forward to seeing you in an Arsenal shirt, and let's go for it. We've got Burnley coming up this Sunday. Going to be a tough game, but I believe we can go there and get a result, and we could just slowly start working our way up the table. Listen, please like, subscribe and share. Please comment. Do you think that we've had a good transfer window? And if so, give it a marks out of 10. What would you give it out of 10? For me, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. And that's purely because it's been above average, because he's got in the players that he needs in terms of the position. So that's why I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. It would have been nice for us to go and spend loads of money on an Upamecano, or get a really good defensive midfielder. But at the moment, we're not in a position to have the money. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Please comment, and again, like, subscribe and share. And please check out my Instagram as well. And I'll see you the next time. I'm out of here.